Was Joe Biden's family eaten by cannibals, or was this another gaffe? Here's the full story. President Joe Biden is known to make up tragic stories about his family members and repeat them over and over. His latest story involves his uncle, who was supposedly shot down in Papua New Guinea and eaten by cannibals.
Back when D-Day occurred, and on Sunday, the next day, my mother's 4 brothers all went down to the recruiting station and joined the military. Every one of them volunteered. And my uncle, they called him Ambrose Brosey, they called him Bosey. My Uncle Bosey was a hell of an athlete, they tell me, when he was a kid. And he became an Army Air Corps before the Air Force came along. He flew those single-engine planes as reconnaissance over war zones. He got shot down in New Guinea, and they never found the body because there were a lot of cannibals for real in that part of New Guinea. And then my son volunteered to go to Iraq for a year, and he came back with stage 4 glioblastoma. And they gave, like many of you, risked your lives, and you know people who gave their lives for the country. They're heroes. But one of the things that as I was doing that today, I was reminded of what my opponent said in Paris not too long ago. They asked him to go visit American grave sites. He said no, he wouldn't do it because they were all suckers and losers. I'm not making that up. Staff who was listening acknowledged it today. Suckers and losers. And undeserved. To have been the commander-in-chief for my son.
But here's where things take an even crazier turn. Later on that same day, Sleepy Joe claimed it was his Uncle Bosey who was shot down in Papua New Guinea and eaten by cannibals.
Ambrose Finnegan, they called him Uncle Bosey, he was shot down. He was in the Army Air Corps before there was an Air Force. He flew single-engine planes, reconnaissance flights over New Guinea. He had volunteered because someone couldn't make it. He got shot down in an area where there were a lot of cannibals in New Guinea at the time. They never recovered his body, but the government went back when I went down there, and they checked and found parts of the plane and the like. And what I was thinking about when I was standing there was when Trump refused to go up to the memorial for the veterans in Paris, and he said they're a bunch of suckers and losers.
How do you not know which one of your relatives were supposedly eaten by cannibals? It's not like getting eaten by cannibals is an everyday occurrence or something that has happened to many people. Of course, Twitter users were quick to point out that Biden's story was nothing more than a tale. The United States Army gave an unaccounted update on Uncle Bosey, who went missing on May 14, 1944, a few weeks before D-Day. His plane went down in the ocean near New Guinea because of engine troubles. One of his crew members was rescued, but Bosey's body was never found. Of course, when Fox News reporter Peter Ducey asked White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre about the bizarre story, she snapped, saying this isn't a joking matter.
Why is President Biden saying he was shot down, there's no evidence of that, and why is he saying that his uncle was eaten by cannibals? That is a bad way to go.
He lost his life. It's not, look, I'm not. We should not make jokes about
it's
this.
Not.
Wait.
President Biden said that his uncle was eaten by cannibals.
I mean, your last line it's for a laugh. It's for a funny statement, and he takes this very seriously. His uncle, who served and protected this country, lost his life serving, and that should matter.
No one is discrediting Uncle Bosey's service. We're just wondering why the President of the United States is making up bald-faced lies about his uncle being killed in action thanks to cannibals. And how many times does he have to repeat this lie before someone questions him about the story and presents the facts? You would think his communications team or his family would inform Sleepy Joe that the story he told did not happen. Then again, Karine Jean-Pierre seems to think Americans will magically forget a colorful story about cannibalism. Definitely not going to happen.